It is the battle for Iowa. The Iowa Phoenix playing host to the Cedar Raptors. I'm Tyler French. Alongside me today is Dom D'Angelo, and we are coming to you live here from Indianola High School. It is a potential changing of the guard as the Raptors have been the little brother, in this case, I guess the little sister, in this rivalry over the last 2 years, going 0-3 against their in-state rivals. First of 2 games between these teams, but the Raptors off to a 2-0 start. Their defense has been phenomenal, not allowing a single point this season through 2 contests.
Yeah, and they're forcing a lot of turnovers. You look at Zane Nelson and Kyra Saunders, each with 2 interceptions, and Saunders, both of them were brought back to the house for touchdowns. So their defense has led the way all season long. That secondary is going to be tested. We'll talk about it throughout the course of the night with Kira Fisk. Already 3 long touchdowns so far this season. So this is setting up to be a phenomenal matchup here tonight.
All 3 of those touchdowns coming last week in the win over the Minnesota Minx. The Phoenix winning that one in blowout fashion. And you mentioned Saunders. Both of those touchdowns came last week in their win over the Midwest Mountain Lions, the team that beat the Phoenix to start the year. That was the only scoring in last week's game for either squad. So Saunders getting the job done as a rookie. And then Zane Nelson, the second-year athletic defensive back, as this one is going to bounce and be taken by the veteran Shannon Christensen. Christensen off to a little bit of a slow start yards-wise, but 2 touchdowns and a good reversal of field. Going to get out right around the 45-yard line. A nice return to start this one out.
Yeah, good start there. Christensen, like you said, off to a little bit of a slow start, but that's why you get her a touch early, so to speak, on the kickoff coverage. Getting a great starting field position here for the Phoenix to begin.
So the Phoenix will be led by the superstar quarterback, Grace Francis. Set program records in touchdown yards and passes last year. Lit up the Minx for 5 touchdowns last week. 3 of those going to Kira Fisk. Fisk was split out on the right side with number 42, Kat Klingseis, and Shannon Christensen out left. This game going to be very heavy-handed in the pass game as the Phoenix like to throw the ball a lot. This one was intended for Renteria. Falls incomplete, and that is going to bring up second down.
Yeah, try to set up a screen pass there for Renteria. Just something quick, get the ball out of Francis's hands quickly. Just a little inaccurate on the toss.
Renteria, another big play option, showing athleticism, had a 50-plus yard touchdown last week and was the team's leading receiver in week 1. She's been a great new addition for this team offensively as they're going to pitch this one out to the 2-time All-American. As this one driven out of bounds, that was Crystal Peterson on the carry, gain of about 3 up to the 47-yard line. They'll move her back, so it'll actually just be a gain of 2 and bring up 3rd and 8. So defense looking strong here on this first possession for the Raptors.
Yeah, we talked about it at the top. This defense has been stout all season long through the first few weeks. Have a big chance to get a 3-and-out here if they can force the Phoenix into a 3rd down incomplete pass that we would expect coming up.
Trips on the right side. Fisk alone here at the bottom of the screen. Looked over to the right side. It's caught by Christensen. That'll be a first down and more. Down inside the 42, the 38. Gain of 16 on 3rd and 8.
Well, we talked about Christensen having a slow start, but a big catch there. Good for 16 and a first down to move the chains. That's got to feel good. Just get her confidence going here. She's second on the team with catches, and that's going to add to that total.
Grace Francis, one of the top passers over the last 2 years. In the WFA last year, the AWFL this season. This is the AWFL Game of the Week. It didn't work to the left side last time. Now to the right side, getting out of the tackle of her former teammate, Bridget Karsten. It is Crystal Peterson going to the right side this time. Gain of about 4 or 5 to get inside of the 35 to the 33. Give her 5 officially on the carry.
Thought Karsten had a good chance to make a play in the backfield. Peterson is able to outrace her to the edge there. And that could have been a loss of maybe 3. Instead, it goes the opposite way, a pickup of 5 for Peterson.
2 carries, 7 yards so far. 2nd and 5 from the Raptors' 33-yard line. It only took 4 plays for a touchdown catch last week for Fisk. This drive a little bit more methodical. They'll go right up the middle. This time, Karsten going to wrap up Peterson for a gain of just 1 on the play.
Yeah, got her that time. Good sound tackling from Karsten to open this one up. Had a couple of chances early on in this game. So a nice start for Bridget Karsten, forcing another 3rd down.
3rd and 4 coming up. It'll be 4-down territory for the Phoenix. Fisk, single coverage on the top of your screen on the far side of the field. Peterson is the back. Francis, 4-man rush. Delivers this one over. It's picked off. 3rd interception thrown this season by the Phoenix quarterback. It is intercepted, looks like, by number 12, Whitney Schrader, the linebacker. Blocking downfield. Schrader's eventually driven out of bounds, but a big turnover forced there, and you talked about it in pregame. This is something the Raptors have done consistently to start this year.
Yeah, Schrader, that's interception number 2 on the season for her. Just dropping back in that zone coverage there, trying to get it back to Renteria over the middle. A little short on the throw, and right place, right time, setting up the Cedar Raptors offense, and a great spot here flipping field.
Now, offensively is where this team has struggled historically, but they have been running the football effectively well. Stockwell Gregson, the quarterback, back for another year and trying to do what she can to help this team pick up another win today. 145 yards through 2 games for her, completing over 50% of her passes so far this season. And it looks like we actually have a different quarterback in. It is Schrader in at QB. She'll hand this one off going to the right side. And that one is given off to Parker Beltice, the team's leading rusher.
Schrader hands off to number 1, Parker Beltice.
So Beltice coming into the game, 346 yards on 28 carries. She is the bell cow for this offense here. Kind of an interesting formation, a triple option look that they went with to open things up. See if that continues.
Gain of 4 officially on 1st down. Stockwell Gregson has been the lone quarterback this year, so don't know if there might have been an injury. We did see one of the players down on the sideline during warm-ups, as this one goes to the left side for Ashley Brooks, and it'll be a gain of 5 and bring up 3rd and 1.
Number 10, Ashley Brooks on the carry.
Ball came out just at the end there, but forward progress was stopped, and we've seen 2 straight carries for the Raptors. Would suspect a 3rd here, and yeah, interestingly to see Schrader back there under center taking snaps. But she is a good power rusher for what it is worth. We just saw it on that interception return, so if she's got to tuck in and go, she's more than capable of doing that.
So Schrader, both backs in the backfield here on 3rd and 1. Raptors trying to move the sticks. They'll hand it off to Beltice. And she will lunge forward. Gain of about 6, it looks like, to move the chains. Officially 5, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 19. Great start here for the Raptors. Exactly what you were hoping for coming to the game. Force a turnover, go to your run game, and let this team try and carry you to victory here tonight.
Yeah, really leaning on the offensive line through the first drive of the game here after the great takeaway from your defense. Establishing the line of scrimmage was definitely a crucial thing here for the Raptors tonight, and through the first few minutes of this one, they're doing that quite effectively.
Looks like Coach Ray calling a timeout on the far side. We'll take one as well. It is the AWFL Game of the Week, the battle for Iowa between the Phoenix and the Raptors. You're watching Pardon My French Media. We'll be right back. Fresh out of downs for Schrader and the offense. And this time they go I formation. Still goes to Beltice up the middle. Steps out of a couple of tackles using that big body and goes for 8 on the carry. Christensen there on the stop for the Phoenix, but it is still tough for the Phoenix offense or Phoenix defense to stop her right now.
They're going quick on this one here.
Big carry, and that is going to be a Raptors touchdown. So Beltice, 2 carries, 19 yards.
Went quick on that one. Beltice touchdown number 4 on the season. Running off that right side. And Alyssa Noble Gissendaner, the fullback, number 28, with some huge blocks on that drive to open up some lanes for Beltice to find the pay dirt.
And they will line it up for a 1-point conversion attempt. So far, no answer for Beltice. She goes right up the middle, and she's going to be stopped short. First time the defense has held strong on a rush attempt.
Unsuccessful with 8:59 remaining in the first quarter. Cedar Raptors 6, Iowa Phoenix 0.
So it was a Phoenix turnover and exactly what the Raptors needed to do.
Turning the takeaway into points. They've been doing that all season long. And Parker Beltice is just too much to handle, especially down near the goal line.
So 6-0 in favor of the Raptors. The Phoenix will try to answer now and come up with a score of their own coming off the interception. We saw a couple of runs for the All-American Crystal Peterson, but a turnover, a costly one for the Phoenix early on. Third interception thrown this season by Francis. Has to shake it off and get to it here on the offensive end now. Raptors will kick this one away. Nice high kick. Fisk will come up, field it. Had a couple muff punts last week, but takes this one up to the 50. Thought she was able to tiptoe, but they're going to say she went out right around the 48-yard line. See if that can kind of spark this offense as they try to answer.
You got to think that Fisk is going to be getting involved here on this drive. We saw the speed right there on that kickoff return. Too good of a player to keep down for too long.
Fisk, the former Carlisle Wildcat. Her alma mater winning the girls basketball state tournament this year. A team that she played for several years. Also ran track for the Wildcats as well. And we have seen those track skills here with the Phoenix over her first 2 seasons. Set the franchise record with 8 receiving touchdowns last year. As the Phoenix start 1st and 10. Francis going right back to the air and just a little short looking for Shannon Christensen across the middle.
That was a tight window that Francis tried to fit that one through to Christensen. Been going up that seam a lot from the slot position. A little bit short on the throw, brings up 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10, they'll pitch this one out. Big hole on the right side as Peterson looking to get out. As takes a big hit but keeps the legs moving. That'll be a run of 10 and a first down for the Phoenix. Anique Adams there on the stop to help bring her down. And they are not going to give her the first down, actually. They'll say she was just shy. Nope, they do finally switch it. But looked like she dove clear of those yards to reach.
And the key block there from Keckling Slice, opening up that right side there. They've been going with the pitch option, so we've seen the Raptors go with direct handoffs. Phoenix, this might be their first direct handoff of the game.
Goes on the left side of the line, stepped out of a first would-be tackle, but is going to be a short gain. The defense keying in on Crystal Peterson. And Grace Francis starting just 1 of 4 with the interception so far.
I think they got to try to go back to that initial opening play, set up a screen pass, something quick to try to get Francis in rhythm, because like you said, she struggled through the first 2 drives so far.
2nd and 9 as we approach the halfway point of the first quarter, 7:30 on the clock. Raptors up 6-0 after converting on the interception. Francis will drop back to pass. Good blocking up front. Looks to go over to Christensen's. Got her. Gain of 17 on the play, down to the 21. Second catch of the game for Christensen. Going back to Old Reliable, the multi-year veteran, multiple-time All-American, and Team USA member.
Yeah, and a great route at the top, breaking to the outside, creates a lot of separation there, and an easy pitch and catch for Francis. See if that can start getting her into rhythm as we're marching into the red zone.
1st and 10 from the 21. Peterson is the back, trips to the left, Fisk out wide right. Francis going to tuck it and run with it. Alyssa Noble there on the stop. Gain of 2 on the carry. Good decision there, not trying to force it though.
Would have been a lot of traffic had she tried to fit one in there. We've already seen her try to fit a couple into some tight windows, so good decision from Peterson, or excuse me, from Francis, pulling it down. Gets up to the 19.
1st and time inside the red zone for the Phoenix. Want to thank everyone from both the Iowa and Cedar Rapids fan bases tuning in for today's game. It's the AWFL Game of the Week, and it's lived up to it so far. Pitch this one out to Peterson. And the hole on the outside closed in a hurry. Not going to get much on the carry. Looks like they gave her about 3 yards up to the 16. And a timeout on the field. We will take one as well, called by the Phoenix. So both teams have used 1 timeout. And we will take a short break ourselves and be right back.
Or if you don't have a massage therapist who understands your pain management needs, check out A Great Massage, a licensed medical massage therapist, Sheila Arndorfer, where she'll focus her years of therapeutic experience on taking care of you as efficiently and pain-free as possible. When you finally set aside a little time for yourself, why settle for just a good massage when you could be getting a great massage with Sheila once again in West Des Moines, Iowa.
Was just a crossing route that she just caught it and just outran everyone diagonally down the field, and it was like a perfect just basket catch. Grace can be a little bit inaccurate, but man, when she's on, she throws nice balls. And now with Renteria showing her speed too, it seems really dangerous if the defense can stop it. Step up.
Third and about, looks like 7. The Phoenix need to convert. This one tipped and falls incomplete. They were trying to go back to Christensen. That has been their main weapon here so far tonight. 2 catches for 33 yards for her. And pass falling incomplete will make it 4th down as the Phoenix try to convert.
I think just a little late on the throw. That time from Francis, as Christensen was just beginning to break her route. That ball was thrown a little bit behind her, which allowed the defender, Whitney Schrader, to get a paw on it and tip it back.
Schrader's the one that had the interception early on. See if they look to go to Fisk here. Their big play weapon has yet to have a target in this game. Francis is going to go that way, looking for Fisk, just out of reach. Pass falls incomplete, and that will be a turnover on downs. Overthrew her a little bit, would have had a touchdown. And the Raptors will take over at their own 18-yard line.
Just throwing the one-on-one ball. Zane Nelson was the one in coverage. Just out of the reach. Actually did a good job leading her towards the pylon where there was a little bit more space for her to make an effort for it. Just a tad out of reach from Francis. Falls incomplete, and another stop by this Raptors defense.
Just 2 completed passes in the first 7 attempts for Francis in this one. The 1 interception as well. Phoenix will come out in their 4-3 look. Actually going 5-3 here with linebacker playing up on the edge. Tia Wusi's been one of their top defensive weapons. They'll hand this one off to Beltois. She's not going to go very far. Picks up, looks like about 2.5 yards on the carry.
It's kind of an interesting handoff there. It kind of had a little bit of trouble with the exchange.
And it looks like the Raptors are going to use another timeout. No, excuse me, it's an official timeout with an injury. As Beltois is slow to get up, that could be a big loss. We will take a short break and be right back.
Des Moines University Clinic Physical Therapy is the exclusive provider of physical therapy and athletic training services for your Iowa Phoenix. Through hands-on care and patient-focused movement, assessment, and treatment, DMU physical therapists optimize functional recovery and high-level performance and provide trauma-informed and equitable health care. Once again, Des Moines University Clinic Physical Therapy.
She was an All-American linebacker and was also our leading rusher, like 2 different seasons.
Yeah, to see Sioux Falls officially announced.
Yeah, the Snow Leopards.
Yeah, no season this year.
Parker Beltois is helped off the field. A tough loss for the Raptors. Hopefully she is able to go here later, but walking very gingerly on that right leg. The leading rusher this year already with a touchdown today. Over 30 yards on the ground on 5 carries. Now down their starting quarterback and running back. Schrader turns. It'll be a play action pass. Under pressure, and Renteria there on the sack. Big loss on second down. The defense came roaring down in to pick up the big stop.
So the first passing attempt that we saw from Schrader was rolling to her left and sort of pumped it. Didn't trust what she saw, which allowed Renteria a second chance to wrap her up and take her down for a big loss.
First sack of the game for the Phoenix. Loss of about 6, I believe, on that play. Brings up third and around 14 or 15. We'll see if they look to continue going to the passing game. As I think that's going to be a delay of game, so that'll back them up 5 more yards.
It's going to be so tough for this Raptors offense to have any sort of rhythm if Parker Beltois is out for an extended period of time. The first play that she was out, they tried to roll Schrader for a pass. Nothing there, and then they get a delay of game penalty the very next play.
And this one is overthrown, falls incomplete as they were in on the play again. Looked like it was Renteria on another blitz, and that is going to bring the punt team out. So the defense holds after the turnover on downs, and Phoenix should get good field position here as Kira Fisk, we talked about, she muffed 2 punts last week. One was recovered by the Minks, led to their only touchdown of the game. but she also has that big playability in the return game. She'll back up a couple yards with her heels right around the 39-yard line. A line drive punt. She'll let it bounce. And a mistake there. That one is going to be recovered. A fumble though the other way. A disastrous turn of events both ways. It'll cost the Phoenix a lot of yards, but you know what? I think they'll be getting that ball back.
That was chaotic to say the least. So Fisk fumbled it. It was picked up by Nelson, and then on the return, Fisk punched it out, and Ariana Riley picked it back up. And even after all of that, it was going to be a drive starting in plus territory for the Phoenix. They're going to begin this one at the 33.
Yeah, there is going to be a conversation of whether or not they can actually return the muffed punt. So this may stay with the Raptors. And yeah, they do confirm it goes back to so it will stay with the Raptors, unfortunately for Iowa. A great hustle play made on the defensive side. But the second straight week that the Phoenix will turn the ball over on special teams. And it's the second turnover of the game for the Phoenix as they will look to try and get another stop defensively.
The ball cannot be advanced after a muff punt.
Yeah, we do get the full conversation.
38-yard line, it became theirs. First and 10.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Raptors. As coaching staff for the Phoenix asking for more clarification. While they get this figured out, we'll take a short break and be right back.
Just because the referees were back there talking,
when she started returning it, I'm like, wait, I don't think he came.
that's what I thought too, right away. I don't think there's much argument. Unless they're arguing, did Kira get interfered? You're trying to catch the ball?
She touched the ball first before she got touched. So no, I think this is a correct call.
Yes.
So confirmation, it does stay with the Raptors. Schrader will lead the offense back out. See if renewed life can get the Raptors back in the end zone. And that's going to be a false start on the left tackle.
So they're going to get Ariel Spitzner with the
Penalty on the false start.
false start. This feels like a really big drive for the Raptors to see. They catch a break with the Fisk muff, and then they get it back. And, you know, even though Parker Beltice is still on the sideline right now, this feels like a really big chance for them to strengthen their position in this game.
Pass over the middle. It is knocked down. Megan Kushner read that like a book.
Pass in for number 5, Adams, broken
She
up.
had about 3 or 4 different plays last week that almost ended in interceptions. She has been a ball hawk as the team's #1 corner for the last couple seasons.
They were trying to find Adams there on the quick slant. Good job jumping the route.
And a good fight both ways, both players trying to knock that ball or take it away the other way.
Yeah, that was up in the air for just a minute. And as a quarterback, you get nervous when that ball starts to be batted around there. So fortunate break for Schrader that have hit the turf.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a screen set up, and that's exactly where they go. Over to the far side, it is caught by Rachel Daly, the All-American linebacker. And that's a nice gain on second down to set up third and manageable. Looks like a gain of 8 officially.
Along with Fisk in on the tackle. Third down at the 42.
So they got to get to the 49 here for the first.
Raptors offense playing without their starting running back or quarterback. Daly will split out wide left. We've yet to see them go to Bridget Carson, the team's leading receiver. It's a handoff. And it's going to be a gain of just 2 on the play. Was that to Adams on the carry? No, it went to Alyssa Noble, the fullback.
Nola Gissendaner on the carry. Several Phoenix along with Grace Francis in on the stop. Fourth down at the 44.
So the punt team will come back out. Karsten punted away, the former Iowa Phoenix punter. And Fisk will hope for a better result this time. Carson, a nice high one. Fisk is going to let this one bounce out of bounds. And the Phoenix will finally get the ball back. 2:03 left in the first quarter. And they will take over at their own 31-yard line. Raptors, even playing battered and bruised, have been the better team here so far. To say it, they've taken advantage of these turnovers, and they've made the Phoenix work for every yard.
Yeah, I think they have really controlled 2 of the 3 aspects of the game defensively, and special teams have been great, and another great punt there. And their offense has been quite compatible to what the Phoenix have done. You know, the Phoenix have gotten it into the red zone once, same with the Raptors. So if their offense can play into a standstill with how elite this defense is, and quite frankly, the special teams is going to come into the mix, advantage to Cedar Raptors.
Phoenix will play action pass. Francis will keep it, go out to the right side. Bowls over a defender as it was Brooks trying to come up and get the stop.
Francis with the big run.
And the third-year quarterback rumbles for about 7 yards. Number 5 officially. Offense looking for a spark here, though. They had the interception thrown on the first drive and a turnover or downs last time with the ball. And they need to get themselves going. This is an offense that can score from anywhere on the field, but the Raptors, they know this team. This is the 4th time they've played in 3 years. They know to keep players in front of them.
There was nearly a serious gaff there with Lynx Ice.
Screen pass set up for Renteria. Good blocking in front. She's up to the 45. She'll have the first and more.
Ashley Renteria on the big carry.
Play went for 12 up to the 48. That's the same play they were trying to set up at the beginning of the game. And Renteria showing her athleticism getting downfield.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was curious when they were going to go back to it, because Renteria is showing off some speed and strength after the catch. And those are just easy completions, easy yards to gain, especially if you're still trying to establish things offensively and get Francis into a rhythm. Those screen passes to your skill position players become really crucial.
They'll go the other side this time, caught by Renteria again. Looks to go out wide right. Brooks and Nelson there on the coverage, and it looks like it'd be a gain of 9. Nelson pushes her out of bounds, but 2 nice plays back-to-back for the rookie receiver.
First down, Iowa.
And they do give her full 10.
That's not what the change crew is doing, though.
Correction. 3rd and short when we return as the first quarter ends.
It should be 2nd and short as the first quarter does come to an end. So it should be 2nd and 1. The crew says 3rd, but they did just move the first down marker. So it is the end of the first quarter. The Raptors on top. Heading into the second, we'll take a short break and be right back with the start of the second quarter here on Pardon My French Media, the Phoenix Live Stream Network.
See, we got a new head Coach Ricky was a really good defensive coach, but they struggled at times consistent offensive play calling. And DeMario, who was the almost like a male version of the Phoenix, they used to be the Des Moines Blaze, and he was a Hall of Fame quarterback for them. So he's been around for a long time. Did we change it back to second down? I don't know why they had it at third. But their offense is so much more explosive than we were like 2 years ago. Yeah, we got a first down, and then we just gained another 9 yards. Oh well.
Second and 1 as we begin play here in the second quarter.
Look out.
Big blitz, and that is going to be another turnover. The ball comes out. Karsten comes in on Francis and knocks the ball loose, and the Phoenix turn the ball over for the third time. Bridget Carson with a huge defensive play. Francis a little shaken up on the play too, but might just be fixing the headband. Bridget Carson, the former Iowa Phoenix, gets the better of her former team.
So Carson's had a big role in this game, and to your point, turnover number 3 already in this one. We said at the top that the Raptors defense has been the best in the league all throughout the first 2 weeks. Continuing so far here in week 3, they have been outstanding through the first quarter plus.
It's Noble and Brooks in the backfield here with Schrader. Play action pass, delivered over to the side, looking for Karsten. Just made the big defensive play, can't come up with that catch.
Karsten is just barely incomplete. Second down.
Just out of reach for her. And the Phoenix defense has to hold here. Their offense has looked discombobulated and have struggled to hang on to the football. 6 turnovers in the last 2 weeks here for Iowa.
Yeah, there's a big chance for the defense to make up for some of that, especially since the Raptors have been sort of inconsistent offensively ever since Beltice has gone out of the game. So there's a really big chance here for Phoenix to make a stand of their own.
Those last 2 catches as well for Ashley Renteria put her over 100 yards to begin this season. And it looks like it was going to be a direct snap to Adams, but it's going to be a false start, and that will cost the Raptors 5 yards. And even with the penalties, this team has been able to maintain through it, haven't turned the ball over. And I think that's the big key. You got your backup quarterback in, first time she's seen any time this season and halfway through the year. And while she hasn't played perfectly, she's done exactly what she needed to and take care of that football.
Yeah, she's hasn't put the ball in harm's way, and that's the only thing that you can say at this point for the Raptors is just limiting turnovers and letting your defense win the game for you, which they have done so far. We're going to get another penalty.
And this is where, you practice with one main quarterback, and, it's not high school or college where you're practicing every single day. You may have limited practice time, whatever's available, and you get a new quarterback in there, you get a different cadence call, and I think that is their 4th false start we've seen so far, and definitely playing a factor here for Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, they're going with a silent count. They may have to switch that up here to do a traditional clap maybe to get everybody on the same page here because they're going backwards and we just went backwards again.
I think the Phoenix will take every single one of these yards that they're coughing up. But yeah, a rough look for this offense after forcing the turnover. .36 left here in the second quarter. Last play was an incomplete pass thrown by Schrader. And Beltice back in the game, going to take it to the right side, matches up, and brought down quickly by, looked like Tia Wooste on the stop.
Wooski on the stop for Iowa.
Well, good news that Beltice is back in the game. Just got a couple of yards on that last carry.
Third and long at the
Tyler, they
36.
forced a turnover near midfield, and before that last carry, they were back inside their own 35.
3 straight false start penalties. Rough go on those couple of plays.
You just can't keep shooting yourself in the foot like that, especially after the great field position that your defense has given you twice.
Almost miscommunication on a potential fumble there. They go to Noble. She'll pick up about 6 yards on the carry and just set up a better 4th down here on the punt.
Noble Gissendaner on the carry. Number 31, Ariana Riley on the stop for the Phoenix. 4th down.
Alyssa Noble Gissendaner, her husband, the PA announcer for the Raptors for home games. Actually, one of my former classmates at Wartburg. Alyssa was about 3 years older than me and was a writer on the Trumpet newspaper. Carson with another nice punt. This one booted downfield. Fisk gonna let it bounce, and it'll go down inside the 20, rolls back a little bit, and it will be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Ball rolls dead at the 20-yard line. First and
Officially a
10
punt of, I believe, 38 yards or so.
Yeah, that was another beauty. Kind of curious that Fisk didn't make an effort to go at that. I know that she fumbled the last one that she tried to field, but still, regardless, that was a 15-yard backspin that took, and that could have really made a big difference, especially for the offense that's been struggling so far.
And I wonder if she thought that maybe it was going to bounce and go out of bounds with the trajectory it was taking. But, yeah, either way, cost the Phoenix some decent yardage. See if they can try and make up for it. They've yet to really get that traditional big play. Francis gets this one over, and it is caught by Christensen. Gain of 13 up to the 33. There's those yards back.
First down, Phoenix.
Just sitting right in the middle of that zone is Christensen. She's been doing it all throughout the course of the game. Been the target of choice for Francis. Makes a great catch. A little shoe-high catch just off the turf, moving the chains.
She's been doing it for years here for the Phoenix. Moves the chains and sets them up much more favorably. Phoenix look over. Fisk off her hands, little bit behind her.
Passes off the fingertips of Fisk.
One that Francis may want back as she had her. But honestly, a good positioning on that. You can try and lead the receiver. That might get picked.
Yeah, I don't know who's more upset with that one, Francis or Fisk. And you saw the reaction of Fisk, because if she caught that and spun to her left near the sideline, she may have been gone with that speed that she has. So just a missed opportunity there. Still trying to get Fisk in the ball game. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point maybe they run one of those screen pick plays for her to get the ball in her hands, because we know how explosive she is when she's got it.
And Crystal Peterson has started the drive on the bench with Hellbeck in as the running back, as this one is caught. Gain of about 5. Renteria making another nice play.
Renteria.
And that'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 5 at the 37.
I think you got to be looking for Christensen again here. She's been picking that zone apart. As long as you don't force it into harm's way, we've seen Whitney Schrader make a couple really nice plays in that secondary. Keep your eye out for number 21 in purple.
And Hellberg's been in as an extra blocker. She'll actually take the handoff here and goes nowhere. Met at the line of scrimmage, gain of 1. We'll see what the decision is here for Coach Dara and this offense.
Number 55, Chanel Thomas in there on the stop for the Raptors.
Looks like they might go.
Gain of 1 on the play, 4th and 4.
They will keep the offense out there. Did score on a 4th down play last week on their first opportunity on 4th down here. And that was going to be another one thrown away. Francis mad at herself as that one goes over the head of Renteria.
Turnover on downs back to Cedar Raptors.
And the Raptors a chance to put a little bit of a stranglehold on this game early on if they can get in the end zone here with 10:51 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, had Renteria wide open in the flats, setting up the screen pass once again. Would have probably had enough for the first down. Blockers out in front, just airmailed the toss from Francis. I don't mind the decision going for it, though, especially with how the defense sort of started to buckle down a little bit against the Raptors offense, but really up against it here, starting this drive in their own territory.
I don't believe Beltice is out there for this first play, as the backs are Noble and Brooks. Schrader in the shotgun. She'll roll to her right, looks over to the side. Caught by Karsten, even with absorbing the contact. Kushner couldn't quite get there in time, and that's going to be a gain of 6.
Great catch by Karsten. Fingertip catch, then brought it back into her body to secure it.
Ball is at the 34-yard
Pretty good coverage there. On her quickly were the Phoenix. But a quality completion for Schrader to begin this drive.
Bridget Carson, a player that does a little bit of everything. We've already seen a strip sack from her. She's the team punter and kicker. And I know she's a player that we loved covering when she was with the Phoenix. Is Adams. And going to take a direct snap here, going to the right side. Lunges forward, and she'll have enough near that first down marker.
Snap to number 5, Adams.
They will mark her just shy. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Stop. The ball is placed just short of the 29-yard line. 3rd and short.
This is really the first time that they've used Adams in a running back role this year. Showed some good fight there, getting near the chains. That's 3rd and inches, really.
And it looks like they're going to line up in the exact same formation with Schrader split out on the right side. Coach Ray getting this team a little bit of creativity. And I wonder if someone jump could cost them here, as that would change a 3rd down. And that is going to be another false start. Their 6th of the game.
Just too many penalties, and I think Coach would agree with that. Because it does feel like they've had opportunities to maybe sustain drives and get down closer into the red territory. Just keep going backwards when they have those opportunities here, and now a 3rd and inches goes to a much longer 3rd and 5.
They will keep the same formation with Adams, the direct back. Plenty of blockers in front of her. She'll go to the left side this time. Peterson going to drop her short.
Peterson takes down Adams.
Gain of about 3, it looks like, up to the 31. They need to get to the 28 to convert.
4th down Raptors at the 31.
And they're actually going to punt this one.
Wow, kind of surprised.
Thought for sure they would go for it here with how their defense has been playing, but I guess an opportunity to pin your team back. And somehow still got the punt off. An impressive play there from Carson, able to maintain composure as Riley takes the punt, not letting it bounce any further, but that could have been disastrous for the Raptors. Instead, ends up fairly decent, all things considered.
Yeah, low snap there. Nice job by Carson to just get a grip of it and get it away, because to your point, that could have really not gone well for the Raptors. But even with the maybe questionable decision to not go for it on 4th and short, with that defense that they have starting this drive are the Phoenix on the 22. Not too bad, all things considered.
Yeah, punt of 9 yards officially, which when it shows in the scorebook, not going to look like a good play. But Bridget Carson, we've been singing her praises so far, might be the player of the game so far for the Raptors, as she's going to line up at that left defensive end spot. Strip sack earlier. As this one delivered over, caught by Fist. No, it is dislodged. A big hit planted by Adams to separate Fist from the ball.
Broken up by Adams.
A nice pass, but that's one of those ones where you're setting up your receiver to take a big hit across the middle.
Yeah, and Fisk goes over the middle pretty confidently, and looks like we're going to get a timeout.
Timeout called by the Phoenix.
So the Phoenix will use a timeout. We'll step away real quick and be right back.
Fans want to make sure you also know about West Des Moines' very own Simply Chiropractic. That's where the Iowa Phoenix team chiropractor Dr. Jason is located, and it's exactly what the name says. We evaluate each patient from head to toe, every visit, and correct only what is needed. You come in when you decide you need to. They don't do treatment plans, wellness care, or maintenance care. Most visits are just 20 to 30 minutes long. Once again, that's Simply Chiropractic in West Des Moines. Dr. Jason is the Iowa Phoenix team chiropractor.
Like, you hear how it's the best. Like, that was actually probably one of the better plays. Last year, she could really only run low. This year, she's been able to add that slant, and man, she can really do it. Yeah, this is probably the case for us. But I don't know. See if they can adjust at halftime. Like, if it says anything in, I don't know if I put it on that sheet that I gave you. What the scores look like, the stat sheet from last week. Yeah, these are the stats from last week. I don't think I put, I think I put it on a different sheet of like the scores of what happened. But yeah, our first drive we scored in 4 plays. The next time we had 38-yard rushing touchdown on first play. This offense can explode.
An incomplete pass on first down sets up 2nd and 10. They'll have 2 backs in the backfield this time. Looking over to her left side, Francis steps up, delivers this one out of the reach. That's 3 straight incomplete passes for the third-year quarterback.
Christensen calls incomplete. 3rd and 10.
Christensen, the intended receiver.
I think that time she was just a little bit conscious about going over the middle and trying to make an effort for that one. Saw the big hit that Fisk took on the previous play. Didn't want to sustain that same fate herself and let the ball fall incomplete.
So 3rd and 10. The Phoenix went for it on 4th down near the same territory on their last drive. Came up short. Francis delivers over behind Fisk. And it's tough that the Phoenix, they've abandoned the run game for something that it wasn't not working. It's now 4th and 10. We'll see if the offense stays aggressive or if they look to punt this one away.
Yeah, it really feels like they've been pressing these last few plays. Just abandoning the run game entirely, because the way that you can open up some of those routes over the middle for the pass game is if the run game is working. That's going to draw the linebackers up and not have them drop back into coverage, but it feels really one-dimensional right now. This is a big 4th and 10.
Look for Karsten on the right side of that line. Francis takes off and runs with it, and she is going to come up well short. Picks up 5 yards, and that is going to be a turnover on downs inside their own 30. Maybe a questionable play call there to go for it on 4th down and 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raptors from the opposing 27-yard line.
Yeah, just really difficult there for Francis to find anything downfield, because as soon as she made her mind to tuck it and run, even when she still had time in the pocket to maybe deliver one at the last second, just really tunnel vision there. Kept her eyes down. Good job by the Raptors, corralling to the ball, making the stop, and this is their best starting field position all day in a game that they've really dominated here for the first 1.5 quarters.
Yeah, and a game that feels like it should be a much different score right now. As it looks like they're going to line up Adams. They've realized this worked before. Why not? Make the defense stop you. Schrader will be split out wide right. And they are, I was waiting for them to set up a pass. And it's intercepted! I think it was Megan Kushner finally was able to haul one in, and the Phoenix get a big turnover on 1st down.
Megan Kushner for the Phoenix. She returns the ball to the 29-yard line.
First interception of the year for Kushner. could not have come at a more opportune time there. We just talked about the 4th down play call, maybe questionable at this point in the game, but bailing out the offense there was Kushner, and now this is where Francis really needs to lock it in and start delivering some of these throws with confidence here to some of her receivers. Also, get back to the run game. Start establishing it. Just get some positive yardage here. That's been really tough to come by in this first half for the Phoenix.
No line Peterson and Hellberg up in the backfield. 7:38 left in the first half. They will give it to Peterson. Bounces it to the right side. Good read on that. She'll pick up 5 yards. That's the exact type of thing. Maybe you're not going to break a 30, 40-yard touchdown run every time, but Peterson has been one of the most important players in program history. She's got every program rushing record.
Down by Daly. Second down at the 34.
And now has an opportunity to see if she can get this offense rolling a little bit. 2nd and 5. Goes to the right side again. Cuts back into the middle and picks up 8 here. Now we start to see this offense roll a little bit.
Well, these last 2 plays, too, great push up front from the offensive line. And that's what you really need to establish a good running game. Here's some lanes for Peterson finally opening up here. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow the deep play fake to open up when they decide to go to it. Francis has the capability of doing it, but establishing this run game now is going to make it a lot easier of a passing attempt when it comes.
And Hellberg in there as an extra blocker helps as well. But the right side of this line, the veterans September Dale and Jessica White winning at the point of attack. But a nice play here in the backfield by Chanel Thomas. Loss of 2. They figured out that they've been faking that left side or going right. And Thomas just came across from the other side of the formation.
Big play from Thomas, just busting through the interior. Thomas leads the team in solo tackles. She'll get another one there, up to 14 now. She's been a game wrecker all season long.
5:45 left here in the first half. Phoenix momentum may have gotten dulled a little bit here. We'll see if they can bounce back and fight through a little bit of adversity after a first down. Looking to take the top off the defense and thrown into double coverage, falls incomplete.
Pass intended for Christensen is just a little too long, bringing up third
That'll
down
stop
at
the clock with
40-yard line.
5:28 left here in the first half.
Another 3rd down and long coming up for the Phoenix. Tried to hit Christensen a few times. That time on a go route. They've got a lot of talent on the outside, the Phoenix. They're going to have to rely on them to come up with a big play here in an obvious passing situation.
The way this offense has been going, wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it on 4th again, especially now with a little bit of distance between them and the end zone. Francis looks to the left side, completes it. Renteria, another nice play. That one goes for 16 down to the opposing 44-yard line.
Renteria just going right up the seam that time. It's been the best playmaker so far for the Phoenix in this first half. Comes up with another big play to move the chains.
5 minutes on the clock. The Phoenix trying to at least tie this one up before halftime. Raptors will get the ball to begin the second half. Hasn't been the big playability. It's been dinking and dunking down the field, but that is what this team needs right now to try and get themselves in the end zone. It's a quarterback keeper, Francis. Dragged down, loss of 2. Karsten there on the stop.
In the backfield, Bridget Karsten, part of those tacklers, down back to the 45-yard line. 2nd and 12.
That'll bring up 2nd and 12 now for the Phoenix, back to the 45.
That play had no chance from the beginning, as Karsten and a couple of others read that out beautifully. And Francis has tried to tuck it and go with it a few times, hasn't been the most effective at it. So it's definitely a key part for the Raptors coming into tonight. Keep her in the pocket and make her make accurate throws.
Francis going to roll to the right side, looking downfield for Fisk. Just out of reach Fisk might have been looking for the ball before really getting into a position. Falls incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Zane Nelson provided the coverage.
Nelson, great coverage out there, not letting Fisk beat her over the top. And Nelson, one of the few players out there on either team that can keep with Fisk step for step.
Yeah, just out of the reach was that throw. Pretty accurate one. And a good position there, putting it towards the sideline because Fisk had the outside position on Nelson. Threw it a little too long there for Francis, but it's coming at some point. They've tried it a few times, just couldn't connect on him. And here we go again, Tyler, another 3rd down and long.
This time it's a handoff on the right side. Gain of 6 up to the 40. At least setting up a more manageable 4th down.
Fourth and 7 for the Phoenix at the 40-yard line.
I think this is a huge play for both squads, really. The Phoenix trying to get some points on the board before half, trying to swing this momentum. Meanwhile, it has just been a very strong defensive game for this Raptor squad, punctuated by those 3 forced turnovers.
Yeah, that's a big play coming up here. Have to get to the 33 for the first. And especially as we hit 3 minutes to go in the half here, so I think we're going to get a timeout before the snap.
Timeout called by Iowa.
So Iowa will have one more. No, excuse me, that is their last one, I believe.
Fans want to make sure you know about the line.
Clock stops, 3:01 left here in the quarter. And it's so tough because, you know, what this team has been built on is the big playability. And that is something the Raptors have done a great job taking away. Fisk has been completely neutralized in this game. Had the one opportunity, but the big hit dislodged that football. Overall, they have just done a good job neutralizing what the Phoenix do well.
Yeah, they've really taken away all the deep passing plays, which these last couple of possessions, you've seen them maybe go towards the run game a little bit more, which has been important for them to get something established. And this is a really big chance here because Iowa got the ball to begin the half, so the Raptors will get it to start the second half. And if they can keep them out of the end zone here, that would be huge going into the locker rooms.
4th and 7 coming up from the 40. Francis has struggled with her accuracy here in this quarter especially. Just 1 for her last 7. Big play here, 3:01 left in the half. Phoenix do not have the ability to stop the clock anymore. Francis over the middle, caught by Fisk, but short of the first down. There's a good snag, but it's going to be 2 yards shy.
2 yards short of the line to gain. Turnover on downs.
Second turnover on downs in opposing territory today.
I think Francis maybe jumped the gun a little bit on that throw, and Fisk was just getting off the line of scrimmage when she caught the pass, and so didn't really have much of a chance to create any separation there. Great job by the Raptors being on top of her as we get another player down.
Looks like Rachel Daly, which, you know, we've seen a couple of injuries for the Raptors. They lost Stockwell Gregson, their quarterback, during warm-ups. We did see Parker Beltice return, but just for a couple of plays and has not been back in since. And Rachel Daly, really one of their defensive playmakers, the heart and soul of that defense. If she's unable to go, that's another big blow to this team. But they have been able to fight through adversity, to say the least, of how this team has responded today. Looking for their first ever 3-0 start. It would secure their first ever minimum 500 season here in program history in their 3rd year. Phoenix trying to avoid going back under 500 after the win last week. These two teams will match up one more time in Cedar Rapids later this season, as well as a home and away series every season. .255 left here in the half. And that'll be another false start, as both Karsten and the, I think it might be Beltice actually back in the game, lunged forward on the right side. I think the Phoenix, best case scenario, you force a turnover and have one more shot at the end zone before half. But it has been an ugly offensive game on both sides, but defense is playing extremely well.
And really, we've said it throughout the course of the first half, but these penalties are really keeping the Phoenix in it so far. Because we got to be nearing 10 for the Raptors with just under 3 minutes to go.
And up to the right side, Renteria had a beeline for the ball carrier, Brooks, and gain of just one on the play. I think the Raptors called timeout. Oh, it's a holding call. So while Renteria won't get credit for the tackle, again, I think the Phoenix will take those yards.
Just another instance where the Raptors gain some positive yardage and then lose it because of a penalty. That's going to make it 1st and 15 all the way back at the 20.
1st and 25.
25, excuse me. You know, math is not my specialty as a
journalism major.
Exactly. I don't deal with numbers too much anymore.
I took an elementary education math class in college. I relate. I got a B- in that class too.
There you go.
But hey, C's get degrees. Miscommunication here, and looks like this is going to be another loss on the play. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage is Brooks. Could have easily gone as a loss of 3 or 4, but the defense slow to get to the ball carrier. And I think at this point the Raptors just playing for halftime, and the Phoenix can't stop the clock.
Certainly feels that way. There's not a ton of urgency to get a play call in before we hit the 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2-minute warning hits here. 2nd and 25 when we come back, as the ball was not advanced at all. We'll take a short break and be right back.
This game so far is like me after the gym. Ugly.
Do anything other than just try to chew the clock here?
I don't think so. They don't have a passing attack. I mean, they can. Yeah, passing attack, but that's an interesting stat. 0 North Carolina players drafted. Belichick didn't produce a single NFL prospect in first season as college coach. I think that's funny. The basketball team will have more players drafted. Now, given the best prospect in the country, Caleb Wilson. This is going into a second. I just got the notification 0 UNC players, and I thought it was going to be 0 UNC players back. That's my wife. And I thought it was going to be all their players left for the transfer portal with Belichick.
2nd and 25. And I think they had to burn another timeout, or burn a timeout here.
Timeout called by Cedar Raptors.
That's borderline inexcusable. You have the 2-minute warning, and then you call timeout immediately coming out from it.
If the Phoenix can find a way, this is probably going to be a run play. Whether it goes, that is going to be the only hope. Phoenix, the closest they've gotten has been the 18-yard line in what ended up being that turnover on downs on the misplay in the end zone.
Feels like they've had a couple opportunities, maybe not so much in scoring position, but at least at bare minimum to extend drives and haven't been able to do so here. So if they can come up with something with 2 minutes remaining in the half, that would be huge momentum going into halftime.
We did see Beltice on the field, but I'm wondering if she's been being used more as a decoy, as she has not touched the ball since that injury back in the first quarter.
It certainly feels that way. She hasn't been as impactful either ever since sustaining that injury to her leg.
High formation here for the Raptors. Turn, handoff, going to the left side. There's a nice gain on the play of about 8 yards.
Taken down by Riley.
There's Brooks on the carry. Clock continues to roll.
3rd and long at the 28.
It'll be 3rd and 17. Raptors in no hurry to get this playoff on the play clock. And I thought the ball came out for a second. It's a handoff to Noble. Loss of 1 on the play. The Raptors will have to get the 4th down play off. There's about a 23-second difference between the game clock and play clock.
Well, it hasn't been a pretty first half. That's stating the obvious in some cases. So you would have to think that as soon as they get this punt away, they're going to be just playing back, not allowing anything to get over their heads here and taking this one at halftime. But a pretty good job by the Phoenix defense with everything that's gone wrong for them offensively and giving up some good field position. Keeping a minute and only allowing 6 points through the first 2 quarters, you'll take that.
And a timeout will be called last of the half for the Raptors as they call it to avoid giving up 5 more yards. And Carr's seen a couple of nice boots from her from roughly like 40-plus yards. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I've seen high school punters that cannot reach what she's been able to. And I would expect Iowa will get the ball back maybe with 20 seconds, maybe a little bit less depending on how long the return takes. But, you know, you take 2 shots or so. If you can get 1 shot downfield, get out of bounds, and at least set yourself up for something towards the end zone. We know Francis has the arm to throw it 40 yards.
Clock stops on first down, too.
I'm looking for a potential crossing pattern for Fisk, but the big thing, if that line can hold, Francis can't jump the gun. She's got to deliver a good ball there and give her receiver an opportunity, whether it's Renteria, whether it's Christensen, or whether it's Fisk. All 3 have the ability to make big plays after the catch.
And I think that's what happened on that last. The ball out of her hands too quickly. You have time to make a good, accurate throw, especially with where the clock's going to be at.
They're going to come out in punt block formation. Able to get it away. Comes to the sideline. Okay, so it'll be right around midfield. 17 seconds on the clock.
The punt rolls out of bounds at the 49-yard line. First half, first and
So you
10.
realistically have probably about 2 shots here, depending on how long your first attempt takes. Or maybe even you try to throw something to the sideline, get a little bit closer, get out of bounds, and then you try it again.
My goal here, if I'm the Phoenix, I want to get inside the 30 on this first play, get out of bounds, because I don't think you're going to have time to get up to spike it. The clock will stop with the chains moving, but I don't know. Just with how uncoordinated the offense has looked at times today, we'll see if they try to take a shot or just try to run this clock out. This one delivered over, falls incomplete, and honestly a good decision by Francis because, again, Carson was coming in unblocked on that left side.
Yeah, the pressure was raining on her and just had to get rid of that one before. Maybe another fumble took place. Still 12.9 to go. Still have a chance to get something out quick here. This is in a situation where if you want to get something to get closer, this is where you would want to get the ball out a little bit quicker here if you're Francis.
And I think one of the tough things is going against this defense. You're playing against one of the most athletic defenses here in the area. Nelson has done a great job taking that big play ball away from Fisk. Yeah, they are going to throw a false start. Klingsize got off the line a little early. And I wonder if they'll put some time back on as 2 seconds did roll off.
So you're at the 46 now. Makes it a little bit tougher to try to get up to the 30. You'd have to really get a big chunk play, and the other tricky thing is getting it near the sideline, and you know that the Raptors are going to be trying to prevent that at all costs. You give up something in the middle of the field, they're probably going to live with that. Anything near the sideline is going to be heavily contested.
Yeah, and it looks like they're also going to split out Crystal Peterson here as well as another weapon. So 5 receiver formation. For the 5 with huge game-breaking speed. They do put it back up to 12 seconds. Across the middle, out of reach of Christensen. Francis, you can tell the frustration really setting in for her.
Third down.
I'll bring up 3rd and 15. And really, this is your last shot, but the Raptors just going to keep everything in front of them. 6.9 seconds left in the first half.
Wouldn't be surprised if they maybe go with a screen pass here to Renteria. They've had some success with that. Just give yourself a chance here. You know, completing a pass in this situation is better than throwing another incomplete one. So wouldn't be surprised if they maybe try to set something up, get some blockers out in front.
Francis unloading downfield, falls incomplete. They will have one more shot. Clock stops with 1.5, and Fisk was starting to... And some extracurricular conversation here between Zane Nelson and Kira Fisk. Looked like Adams also chirping a little bit back and forth. Nelson and Fisk, the two second-year players for their respective teams. And Nelson shutting down the AWFL's leading receiver here today. 1 catch for 5 yards. Francis delivers this one. It's caught. Renteria takes a big hit, and that will do it in the first half.
Taken down by Schrader to end the first half.
About a 25-yard completion. That's what you would have needed on the first play and maybe had time to get the ball dead, but the Phoenix unable to get in the end zone after a 38-point performance last week. We'll take a break for halftime, be back with the start of the second half in a little bit. The Phoenix have a lot of talking to do here at halftime. Still just a one-score game, though, but the Raptors will get the ball to start the second half. You're watching AWFL Game of the Week action, the Battle for Iowa, here on Pardon My French Media.
plum. And it's basically like field house. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, drafted in I think like the late 90s. Played a 10-year career or so. 7, 8, 18, 19, 21, 26, 34, 32.
I brought you a treat tonight.
Thank you.
I know these stairs are fierce.
Yeah. My wife will be here in a second if you'd like to meet her.
Oh, yes.
Literally. Where's Kat?
Oh, he was taken the long way.
Of course.
He'll be here in a minute.
I had to bring him a treat tonight since the stairs are brutal.
Oh,
So bad. 3, 2,
Nice
3,
to
7.
Yeah, tonight, you know,
Hi there.
we don't need the warm clothes.
Oh, well,
It's warmer in here than
yes.
6, 7,
See, that's why we like to talk about
12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We threw 23 passes in the first half. Ran the ball 10 times.
Here you go, Ty.
Oh,
Hey, cool.
no. This is my wife, Kat.
Hi, I'm Eva.
She's the one that gave me the Let's Go book.
Oh. And I was school with Megan. And I brought him a treat tonight since the stairs are so brutal.
You care about that.
That's funny.
You can have a bite, I guess.
You can split it.
I'll split it with her. first.
You know, I gave her 12 last week. You get the donut.
Yeah, I'm the face and the lovable one.
You know? That's funny. I will bring goodies next week.
5, 6, 7, 8,
I don't know.
9 of 23 in the first half.
Yeah. No, we get next week.
The 16th.
33,
Back to the cold press.
45,
It'll be
54,
warm by then.
59,
Oh,
75.
God. It needs to warm up because I'm going to Phoenix at the end of May. Oh, it'll be. Yeah, and I don't want to go from 70 to 110.
72.
If I go from
I did the math wrong somewhere.
110.
33,
Hey, you can just get me early.
88, 93, 117. 9 of 23 for 117 yards in the first half. 10 carries, 37 yards for Crystal. 3, 46 yards for Shannon. 21, 26, 42, 67. 5 catches for 67 yards for Renteria.
I think they got to bring the next year in.
We can't keep taking the shots across.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Grace is only doing aiming throws. Throwing.
It's like when you see a young kid.
If she's off, he aims up and she'll either overthrow him or underthrow. She's on. She'll hit him.
Or we were just trying to pick our spots going down the field.
Yeah. Yeah. Just relax, let it come to him. Throw it.
What the heck? Oh, there it is. The stream like cut out for a second. I was very worried.
I haven't checked it already.
It looks like it's still connected. Let's get back to it.
Yep, we're good.
6-0 game coming out of halftime. The Phoenix have very much struggled offensively. Just 9 of 23 passing the football in the first half. Grace Francis throwing an interception as well. Run game, they looked like they were getting back to it for a while, but just 10 carries for Crystal Peterson in the first half for just 37 yards.
Yeah, I think that's what they got to try to establish when they get the ball back here on offense. The defense has really kept them in it, and also a lot of those penalties from the Rapids. We've talked about it a lot throughout the course of the evening. Self-inflicted wounds have really helped keep the Phoenix in this game. As we go squib kick.
And I think that's going to be recovered back by the Raptors. Looked like they kicked it right at Jennifer Zylek. And waiting to see who came on top with it. They do officially have it to the Raptors. So the Raptors will also get good field position here to start the drive. They've been playing without their starting quarterback, Melissa Stockwell Gregson, and also lost their starting running back, Parker Beltice, early in the first quarter, who has made appearances back in the game but has only had 1 touch since then.
And I think you said it accurately later in that first half, really been using her more as a decoy compared to actually looking to get her in the open space to dealing with that injury.
But they've really just been trying their best to make sure they're not turning the ball over. The one turnover we saw was a direct snap to Adams, which is the lineup they're going to go here. So I think they've gone a little bit to this lineup now with Adams taking direct snaps. They did throw the ball one time, and it was picked off. And honestly, if I'm the Phoenix, I'm sending blitz after blitz. I'm making them throw that football.
I would agree with that assessment, especially even with the heavy run approach. It hasn't been that effective these last few drives for them. So I think you got to start sending the dogs here if you're the Phoenix to try to get them into a passing situation.
In that first half, we did see the start under center for Whitney Schrader. Went 2 of 5 for 12 yards. And Adams, the 1 interception as well. Beltice, before getting hurt, had been off to a nice start with her first 6 carries, as Adams going on that left side, got slowed down by Renteria, and the rest of the defense able to come up and clean it up. Gain of just 1. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Taken out by several Phoenix, including 44 Megan Bush.
Bush and Renteria there on the stop. So now 3rd and long. But because they started this drive already in Phoenix territory, with the way Bridget Carson's been punting the football today, she could set her defense up well. And the Phoenix have to have made adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, it really feels like throughout the course of this game so far, the Raptors are playing much more the field position game compared to maybe looking to push the ball down the field in both the ground and air attacks. So wouldn't be surprised if they play a conservative once again here.
5-player front. Schrader under center this time. Delivers this one out. Looking for Carson. Falls incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down. So the Phoenix force a 3 and out. And I am smelling some really good popcorn near us. So the Phoenix will hopefully get the ball back here. They turned it over 3 times in the first half. They've been losing the turnover battle 3-1 each of the last 2 weeks, but because of how well their defense has played, they find themselves only trailing by 6 here with 13 minutes left in the 3rd. 4th and 8, Carson out to punt. It's a low snap. Carson was able to get it off. Somehow it was fielded. I think it was Tia Woosty.
Carson's kick
Somehow caught that ball.
She returns it to the Cedar Raptors 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the
I've
Phoenix.
heard of catching a fastball from your quarterback, but that was crazy.
Can't say that I've seen that too many times before, and that's the second time that a low snap has really ended up costing the Raptors. The first time the punt was able to get away, that time it was just a free-for-all, and this is exactly what the Phoenix needed here. Great starting field positions. Can they take advantage?
They force the 3 and out, get a great starting field position like you mentioned. 1st and 10 from the 47. They'll get back to the run game, pitching out to the right side. And a good start here push forward, and they'll pick up almost
Peterson with a big carry
8
for
yards.
Phoenix, taken down by
It'll
Schrader.
be a 7 officially for the veteran running back, Crystal Peterson.
Gain of 6 on the play to the 41. It's 2nd and 4.
They need to go back to establishing this ground game. They started to do it towards the end of that first half. It started to come together for them. Let's see if they can have that continue.
I formation here, or pistol formation, excuse me. They go back to the pass. It is thrown over, looking for Klingsize, falls incomplete.
I think it was a pretty accurate throw from Francis, but she didn't sit her feet, so that kind of caused the mechanics to be off in that throw. And once again, she tried to fit it in there a little too quickly, I think, for Klingsize to be able to corral it. Saw that in the first half, trying to get one to Fisk, and it ended up being a turnover on downs. So Francis, I think, a little anxious. She's got to calm the nerves a little bit, step into it, make good, accurate throws.
One good possession could put the Phoenix on top if they're able to convert on a touchdown and 2-point. This one pitched out, trying to get to the corner, but the defense collapses. Schrader, who had the interception in the first half.
Tackled by Schrader.
We've seen them go to that pitch quite a few times today. This time, unable to get anywhere with it. It's no gain on the play, 4th and 4.
Didn't have adequate blocking on that play to really make it work. Seen the pitch a lot throughout the course of the game to Peterson. Was kind of waiting for something to develop. It did not, and another strong play for Schrader.
And if I'm the Phoenix here, I'm trying to set up like a crossing pattern for Christensen if they don't go to the run game. They'll get it out. Renteria off her hands. Through to the wrong shoulder. That's the one you got to come up with. Falls incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Back to the Raptors.
They don't go as official turnovers, but the Phoenix offense has struggled on 4th down conversion today.
Yeah, that was another time that they tried to set up that screen pass to Renteria. That one went through her fingertips. Maybe a little bit inaccurate with the throw, but I think if you're Renteria, that's one that you want to have back.
Ball goes back to the Raptors, 11:36 in the 3rd. Mentioned before, I want to thank fans from both fan bases here today joining us for the Battle for Iowa, the AWFL Game of the Week. It's been an ugly offensive game on both sides, but the defenses have been balling out. Megan Bush, speaking of balling out, loss of 4 on the play, back to the 37. Blew that one up. We've been waiting for a play like that from the Phoenix's best defensive lineman.
Loss of 4 to the 37.
Got a great push through that offensive line. Bush coming up with a big play. Another tackle for loss for her. Trying to get some energy into this Phoenix team.
So 2nd and 14 now. Momentum might be creeping the Phoenix way, and it's going to be another false start, this time on the right tackle, it looked like. Double-digit penalties here today for the Raptors. Maybe the difference of this not being a multi-score game.
Without question. I think that's penalty 12 or 13 for him already. But still 10:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Just too many times shooting themselves in the foot. We might get a difficult substitution here.
Schrader does get the pass off and over the head of the intended receiver. And luckily, Schwabe was not the 12th player. She was trying to get off the field. Would have been just number 11. Pass falls incomplete. A big break there for the Phoenix, as couldn't quite see. It might have been Adams. Got back behind the defensive back and might have been off to the races.
Yeah, there was a lot of miscommunication in that defense. And Anika Adams just snuck behind everybody, including Kira Fisk, which is not an easy thing to do because Fisk is about as fast as anybody. The pass inaccurate. So the Phoenix catch a big break and another 3rd down and long, this time for the Raptors.
Speck just trying to keep this one safe, might even keep it on the ground. And Renteria would have had a tackle for loss, but Schrader decided to keep it. Renteria showed her speed, though, got fooled on the play, and still came up with a tackle for a gain of just 1 on the run. And that'll bring up 4th and long. And Carson has somehow managed to get 2 punts away that have both been at her feet and fumbled. The last one, Woosie was able to snag, but hoping for a better snap here. Carson continues to impress, though, on both sides of the ball. A low snap, but handled it. Fisk will turn and watch it. That's one that you really would love to see her return. Just don't know if maybe the confidence isn't there after 3 total muff punts over the last 2 games.
Ball is down by Hartman.
So it's going to be down at
We're
the
on
26.
26-yard line. First and 10
Officially,
for
I'm,
Phoenix.
to your point, surprised that we haven't seen her take a crack at one of these, especially with it's not like there's a ton of pressure coming in. As long as you keep your eye on the ball, you're going to grab it and then outrace everybody to get to wherever you need to go.
Yeah. So off the bounce, it costs the Phoenix 14 yards, and they'll set up just outside of their own red zone. 9:47 on the clock. Would love to see them go right back to that run game. We saw a couple carries for Crystal Peterson, but the drive stalled out on 4th down. Look like a blitz coming here from the left side. It is backed off. This one delivered over, caught by Fisk, trying to get upfield. Steps out of 1 tackle, steps through 2 more. And that's some of the athleticism we've been wanting to see her show today. This one completed, gain of 11 and a 1st down.
Nothing fancy on that. Just a quick curl route. Get the ball out of your hands quick. If you're Francis, let Fisk do the rest. Another great play after the catch for the Phoenix. Finally getting Fisk involved.
First pass completed by half. And Fisk, yeah, if they're going to take away the deep ball. Nelson backing off almost, 8 yards? Trying not to get beat over the top. They're going to look to the outside this time, caught by Fisk. Stiff-armed, I think, 2 defenders on the same play. And that'll be a gain of 7. Nice play after the catch for Fisk. It originally looked like it would just be a gain of 3 or 4, but able to stiff-arm a defender into her teammate and get past Nelson for another gain of probably an extra 4 yards on that one.
Starting to get the ball in her hands a couple times. Starting to get her into the flow of this offense. That happens. Good things usually ensue for the Phoenix.
And Fisk going to split out on the other side of the field this time. Usually lines up on that wide side. They'll pitch this one over. And it's going to be a loss on the play. And as I say that, it ends up as a gain of maybe half a yard as Crystal Peterson just keeps the legs moving.
That's not giving up on the play, to say the least.
There is officially no gain on the play, but it is 3rd and short for the Phoenix.
Just huge that she didn't lose any yardage there. Keep this at a 3rd and short. Because initially it looked like she was going to lose a minimum of 2.
Fisk will come back to the short side of the field. See if they look to go her way again. 2 catches for 18 yards on this drive. And it's going to be a false start, this time against the Phoenix. Blew up what looked like was going to be a nice play to Renteria on the far side.
Story of the game right there. Penalties at the inopportune time. Seen a ton of them on the Cedar Raptors side. And as soon as you think that the Phoenix have a positive drive going, false start backs them up 5.
And we're at the halfway point of the 3rd quarter, so time is becoming a factor. It is just a 1-score game, but every yard, let alone every point, important at this stage in the game. So I wonder if they run that same play for Renteria in the slot. Klingsize and Christensen also split out left. So delivered over, caught by Christensen.
Big reception by Shannon Christensen.
Needed 8, got a lot more than that.
First down.
I think that went for 20 up to the 41.
Just finding both Christensen and Renteria down the seams. That's been the mainstay of this offense for Francis, and a huge play right when they needed it. Gets it into opponent's territory. keeping the drive alive.
Fourth catch of the evening for Shannon Christensen. Every single one has gone for a first down. A little bit of a broken play. Francis takes off with it, runs through a defender, lunges forward, and that'll be a gain of 5.
Taken down by Daly. 5-yard gain to the
That'll bring up
36.
2nd and 5.
Second down.
Good job from Francis just making something out of nothing there, because some miscommunication on the snap. Kind of bobbled it. Still able to turn it into a positive game. They actually gave her again a 6.
And this is shaping up to be a strong drive right now for the Phoenix. They're not trying to take what isn't there. They're getting what the defense is giving and taking full advantage right now. Francis in the shotgun from the 40. And I think that might be a delay of game. So another costly penalty. Last time it didn't stall them out, but now back to the original line of scrimmage with 5:28 left in the third. So that carry by Francis, all for naught. 3 for 4 for 38 yards so far here in the third quarter. Switch up with the formation, moving Helberg over to the right. Big blitz. Francis going to drop for a huge loss. Loss of, I believe, 11 on the play, back to the other 48.
Down in the backfield,
Bridget Carson with her second sack of the game.
3rd and long at the Phoenix 48.
So I'm not really sure what was going on there. Francis rolling out to her right, forced out by some of the pressure, but it seemed like she started that way from the get-go. And just putting herself in harm's way there. Fortunate to hold on to the ball, and they might get another delay of games. The play clock's down to 3, 2, 1.
And they will. It was 2nd and 5 from the 36. It is now, I believe, 3rd and 26 from the 43.
Yeah, they have to get to the Raptor about 31.5-yard line for a first.
Fisk goes right through her hands, would have set up a 4th down that was at least believable, really.
4th down.
So now 4th and forever. You got to punt this football.
I think you do. At this stage in the game, field position is more important here than just trying to pick up, 10, 15 yards. Much to...
Unless they're going to run a quarterback punt. This is very interesting play call for the Phoenix. 4th and 27.
Yeah, that's...
She's coached it before.
Nelson able to knock that one down and is going to get a good return here anyway. And they'll actually get better field position.
Number 16, Zane Nelson on the return for the Raptors.
If that one had been able to get over, Nelson would have gone for quite a ways. But instead, the Raptors are going to set up inside Phoenix territory anyway. I think maybe got a little too cute on that one.
Yeah, well, initially just was going to go straight into it, then pulled it back, did Francis, and kind of side-kicked it right at Nelson. Nelson actually had a chance to just catch it on a line. Let it drop and got a great return. We've seen Nelson's speed defensively keeping up with Kira Fisk in the secondary. And then on that return there, giving her team great starting field position. The ball is going to start at the 42.
So 1st and 10 for the Raptors. And if they were able to score here, I don't think it necessarily ices the game with still plenty of time left, but man, do things get very difficult for the Phoenix. Ramiro Lacey going to move up into the slot. Low snap, Schrader handles it. Delivers this one out looking for Karsten, falls incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Karsten. 2nd down.
Clock stops, 3:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Coach Ray and this Raptors team has set up a great game plan. Do what we can offensively, especially with the injuries, and you know, make them play in front of you.
Defensively and special teams, the Raptors have been outstanding throughout the course of this game. And to your point, just kind of have done enough offensively, but nothing sustained outside of that second drive in that 1st quarter.
Fully expect a screen pass on the far side. And they do get it off, but falls incomplete. As the Phoenix had 3 players in the backfield. As it looked like Hansen, Woosty, and Renteria were coming on that far side. So 3rd and 10 now. Very interesting to see the Raptors getting away from running the football.
It's really been the only source of offense they've been able to muster up in this game has been on the ground, and they've gone away from it.
Schrader now 2 for 9 for 12 yards for the contest. Big play here for the Phoenix defense. Schrader delivers to the right side and picked off. Kushner with her 2nd pick of the game. Steps out of the tackle. Blockers up ahead to the 45, 40, and dragged out of bounds. Looks like right around the 37. But Megan Kushner, another huge defensive play.
And another player down for the Raptors as Anique Adams is slow to get up. Off of that return, she was in the ballpark where Kushner picked it off and got a huge return.
Kushner had about 4 or 5 plays last week where she broke up passes but couldn't haul it in, was frustrated, you could see out there. Today, she's broken up 2 other passes but comes down with her 2nd interception of the game. A ball hawk corner, been the #1 corner for the Phoenix, now in her 4th season with the team. Former backup quarterback and wide receiver, moved to defensive back a couple years ago, and I think the Phoenix are happy with how she's adjusted that move. The Phoenix will have 1st and 10 at the Raptors' 37-yard line. The stretch that they're doing for Adams, hopefully it's just a little bit of a cramp. It's been an absolutely beautiful night weather-wise, especially after thunderstorms we had roll through on Thursday. A couple of nice nights here in central Iowa since.
Yeah, really nice all throughout the course of the day today. Was a little bit cloudier than yesterday, but sun shining came out this afternoon.
And I think for the Phoenix, this is your make or break drive.
Certainly feels that way with under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. After the big takeaway, you got some momentum. See what they can do after this timeout.
And without Adams on the field, that's also their safety, which may bring the play over the top back into play potentially for Iowa. But also, I don't want to see them go back to that, if I'm being completely honest. We've seen this offense start to work a little bit on these underneath routes. So they will move Lacey back to safety. And there's no one really guarding out here on the near side. Yep, there's the late substitution coming in. Francis almost picked off. Fell right in front of Daly. Francis took a big hit. Looked like Beltice on the blitz. And a timeout going to be called by the Phoenix. 2:51 left in the 3rd quarter. Phoenix burned their first timeout. We'll step away. Be right back.
Fans also want to tell you about another new sponsor of the Phoenix this year, this time based out of Ankeny. It's Valkyrie Society. Valkyrie Society is a women-centered strength and conditioning facility focus on evidence-based training that adapts to the female body across different life stages. Its programs emphasize proper technique, progressive overload, and long-term physical development in a supportive, judgment-free environment. Once again, that's Valkyrie Society in Ankeny.
Oh, nice. Xavier Nwangpa, who played for Southeast Polk and Iowa, signed as an undrafted free agent with Kansas City. I'm not going to complain about that. That kid was so good in high school. Xavier Nwangpa.
Okay.
I think his, I don't know if it was his junior or senior year, was when I was at Phoenix. His junior year, because they won state as senior. And that was Dowling's year.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. This one kept short. They find a Renteria. Good blocking by Christensen. And steps through the tackle, off to the races, but eventually dragged down. A touchdown saving tackle there by Zane Nelson.
Taken down by Nelson.
Gain of 25 on the play. The Phoenix have found another big play receiver.
Going back to that screen pass, Renteria has been effective on him all night long. Another big play. Finally gets something inside the red zone for the first time in 2 full quarters here for the Phoenix. See if they can capitalize.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. And they're going to call a false start. I think that was September Dale, the right tackle.
Defense jumped out.
And it is a false start.
Feels like such a broken record saying it, but once you get a big play, you immediately shoot yourself in the foot with a penalty. Both sides have done it all throughout the course of the game, so now you had the ball at the 13, fresh set of downs. Now you're backed up to the 18, and you got to get all the way up to the 4 to get a first.
I do want to say, like, we've talked about the Phoenix struggles to move the football today. I think the offensive line, obviously there's been a couple breakdowns, but the O-line has played fantastic today. Francis over, almost picked off, falls out at the last second. And one of the Phoenix players slow to get up. Can't tell if that's Christensen or not. Slow to get up, but appears to be all right. Might have just gotten the wind knocked out of her as she went to the ground. So 2nd and 15 now with a minute 48. The Phoenix chomping at the bit. You can't get desperate, though, right here. You're right on the doorstep, but you got to keep knocking. It's not trying to bust through the door right now.
I wouldn't even mind seeing him going back to the ground game with Peterson to just gain some yards and make it 3rd and manageable.
Another false start, this time I think on the left tackle, Brandy Thomas. And just like that, they are going to be out of the red zone.
So you get the big play. Renteria get it inside the 15, and now we're all the way back at the 23. And we're going to get a timeout.
Phoenix have to burn their 2nd timeout of the half already in what is currently a 1-score game. We will take a short break and be right back.
Every time they got called, the defender has jumped at them.
Big drive for the Phoenix, and they are staring at a 2nd and 20. 4 down territory here, so 3 downs to get those 20 yards. Francis in and out of the hands of Renteria. Almost wish Francis would have tucked that and run with it.
Had Pater in front of her if she wanted to go.
Probably would have picked up at least 7-8 yards and set up a 3rd and 12. Minute 41, but yeah, that is one Renteria has to have. Renteria has been the go-to player here today. Career high 6 catches for 95 yards. 92 yards, excuse me. 3rd and 20 for the Phoenix. And that one delivered out incomplete. Phoenix had 1st and 10 at the 13, now 4th and 20 from the 23. After 3 incomplete passes and 2 false starts.
This is going to be an extremely similar situation to like the end of the first half. You just got to chuck one up because they can either score it or you can get a 1st down at the 3. Really difficult spot.
Francis over to Fisk, and it's going to be just shy again. Got 18, they needed 20.
First down, Phoenix, 1st and goal at the 5. Correction, it's a turnover on downs. The ball was short of the 1st down.
Huge play there by Zane Nelson. Not only stops the touchdown, but drags Fisk down 2 yards shy of the 1st.
And isn't it so bittersweet if you're the Phoenix? That may have been Francis's best throw of the game. Right on a rope to Fisk, and it comes up a couple yards short of the marker.
But the big situation here is you put yourself in good defensive field position. Whether you force a turnover here or you're able just to get the ball back, you should hopefully, even on a good punt, get the ball on this side of the 50. This drive will likely carry us to the start of the 4th with a minute 28 on the clock as the drive starts for the Raptors. Five-yard run on the right side.
Raptors gain 5 on the run up the middle.
Couldn't quite see who carried the ball. Might have been Schrader. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Might have been a broken play there, but Schrader somehow able to push forward, pick up 4 more.
Yeah, good job by Schrader just lunging forward those last couple of plays to pick up positive yardage, make it 3rd down and short. And they do not have to snap this ball before the end of the quarter.
And it does not look like they will as they'll walk off the field. 1 quarter away from a guaranteed 500 season, the first ever it would be for the Raptors, and their first ever win over their central Iowa rivals, the Iowa Phoenix. Iowa showing signs of life in that 3rd quarter, but they also cost them 2 timeouts and a turnover on downs inside the red zone. It'll be 3rd and 1 when we come back. You are watching Iowa Phoenix football on Pardon My French Media, the AWFL Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Hey fans, if you're interested in partnering with the Iowa Phoenix, I'm sure they would love to hear from you. They're Iowa's first non-profit women's tackle football team. Make sure you reach out today if you're interested in helping the Iowa Phoenix continue to break down barriers.
Nussmeier ended up from LSU, ended up going undrafted.
I thought he went flew to Kansas City.
Oh, I thought he did. I thought he. I misread the thing. Just that he was playing with the Chiefs. It didn't say that he'd been drafted.
So he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Future QB1 behind Justin Fields and Patrick Mahomes. People originally thought he was going to be a first-round pick.
Jumbo formation here for the Raptors as they look to try and just push this one forward and get the first. 3rd and 1. And they'll get, looks like a gain of 3 to move the chains.
Raptors push gains the first down of the first.
So the
down
Phoenix
at
defense
the
unable to force a
17-yard
3 and out
line for the
inside the red zone. An injury timeout on the field. Looked like it was Quiche being helped off the field, number 15. No, excuse me. Someone else was down waiting for the crowd to disperse. For the Phoenix, it is their second game of this 2-game homestand. They'll be off next week before the 9th. They will be over in Detroit taking on the Prowl for the first time. And then back home here on May 16th as they will try and get revenge against the Midwest Mountain Lions, who upended them in week 1, 20-12. And then finally wrap up the regular season May 30th with a rematch with this Raptors squad on the road over in Cedar Rapids. So the Raptors, every second they get to possess this football is going to be huge as they look to try and run as much clock off as possible. They just push forward again, pick up 3 yards up to the 20.
Well, especially since Iowa's only got 1 timeout. They had to burn 2 in that 3rd quarter because of substitution and miscommunication issues.
Raptors with a gain of 3 to the 20 brings up 2nd down.
And I think the big thing here, the Phoenix, if you get 1 score on the board, that might be enough to win this game if you can convert on the PAT. But it has just been so tough. They've looked like the better team offensively throughout today. It has just been execution issues in big plays. Schrader under center. Go to the left side this time. Meets a couple of defenders. Keeps the legs moving and is going to be right near that first down marker again. Looks like they'll give her 6 and to bring up another 3rd and 1.
Schrader's been effective on those quarterback runs these last few times that they've done it, setting up another 3rd down and short.
And they'll bring the jumbo formation up right at the line of scrimmage again. If I'm the Phoenix, I'm surprised they're not blitzing here, but it looks like they finally do bring a couple other bodies. Line of scrimmage, push forward, and they'll give her the 1 she needed. If I'm the Raptors, I'm just running this consistently and make them stop me.
I would agree, and because of some of the injuries that they've had offensively, it's really going to help dwindle that clock. They're snapping it late in a play clock, getting into the huddle late, formations late. Just working it. They're okay with a 6-0 score. It doesn't have to be pretty. They're just looking to walk out of here 3-0.
3-0 with no points allowed in 3 games. 0-3 all-time against Iowa. Schrader's going to drop back and pass this time. Under pressure, delivers it, and it's picked off again. Kira Fisk! Fisk with possibly the play of the game for the Phoenix. I do not know why the Raptors went away from the run game here.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one either. They've been running it pretty effectively, had the game plan. They tried to get cute, I guess, and pass was errant, wide of the mark, and Fisk with another reception, this time on defense.
And if the Phoenix here, this is do or die situation.
without question. You got to find a way to get it in here. This is some of the best starting field position that they've had inside the 25.
We've only seen 3 runs here in the second half for Crystal Peterson. Set up for Renteria. To the 20, 15, spun down around the 12.
Shot by Renteria, taken down by Hartman.
The marker out at the 13, so gain of 9. First 100-yard game in her career. Renteria has been the offensive player of the game for the Phoenix.
Second and short at the 13.
Second and 1 from the 13-yard line. Francis taking off with it, pushes forward. It'll be first and goal for the Phoenix inside of the 10. First time we've said that all day, and the Phoenix might finally have momentum on their side for the first time tonight.
It is a big chance that they're going to mark it at the 9.
First and goal for the Phoenix.
And you have everything in your playbook open here. You can run that screen pass. You can throw a one-on-one 50-50 ball if you want to. You can run it here. All options on the table here for Grace Francis.
And honestly, I would love a 50-50 ball opportunity. Kira Fisk stands about 5'10", has those old basketball skills. As they go back to Peterson, down inside the 5, they'll give her 4 on the carry.
Peterson, the ball carrier.
Give it 5 officially.
Hartman once again in on the tackle.
Phoenix need the score here.
4-yard line. Second and goal.
Second and goal from the 4-yard line coming up. Easily 4-down territory, as the Phoenix don't have a traditional place kicker on the roster. Sideline trying to fire up this Phoenix crowd. And I think it's another false start against Iowa. Calls the play dead, and Francis was going to cakewalk into the end zone.
Yeah, she had great blocking out in front. Another self-inflicted wound. Been saying it all night long. Got inside the 5 for the first time. Now they got to back it up.
Third interception of the game for the Phoenix defense. They've evened up the turnover game and now trying to take advantage. They'll run the same play. Francis trying to bounce it outside. Takes the big hit from Chanel Thomas.
Francis, the ball carrier.
She'll pick up, looks like 2 yards up to the 7. Under 10 minutes left in the game. It'll be third and goal.
I think in that situation, Francis had gotten away from trouble for the moment. Got to try to get rid of that ball at some point there. It's just kind of loose with it initially. Thomason on the tackle. Brooks as well. Got to try to just chuck that out of the back of the end zone, live to see another day, and avoid a big hit.
Was able to pick up a couple of yards here, get them back close to the end zone as they'll flip the field. Trips to the left, Fisk out to the right. 2 downs to score. Francis to the end zone. Notice caught by Renteria right in front. It'll be fourth and goal.
She's tackled at the 3-yard line. Fourth down.
Gain of 4 on the play. Renteria, a huge night tonight for the Phoenix. Talked before, she's already gone over 100 yards. It's her 8th catch of the game. And a timeout by Coach Ray. He was sprinting down the sideline. Did not like what he was seeing. And I think they were going to set Renteria up with another one of those screen passes.
Kind of looked that way. Similar formation to the previous few. So be curious to see if they're going to go in the same direction or if they switch it up, maybe give Fisk a chance to make a play on the ball.
Clock stopped, 8:32 remaining here in the ball game. And, you know, it hasn't been the prettiest game out there, but I think the AWFL picked a good one for their game of the week, a rivalry game that is coming down to the wire.
It's been close all throughout the course of the evening. Only score happened way back in the first quarter. There's been good action, a lot of strong defense on both sides, and now a golden chance here for the Phoenix.
If I remember correctly, it was the Raptors' first drive of the game after the interception. Play of the game right here for the Phoenix. Need to get into the end zone to tie this game and give them a chance at the lead. Two receivers either side of the formation. Low snap. Francis has it. Completed. Touchdown, Iowa. Home reliable. They go to Shannon Christensen, our third touchdown of the season. Biggest catch of the season for the veteran. And now the Phoenix an opportunity to take the lead as they will just go for one.
Been hitting those flat routes to both Christensen as well as Renteria, and Christensen found herself wide open walking towards the pylon. Easy pitch and catch for Francis, and a huge extra point right here.
If the Phoenix can convert, they'll take their first lead of the game. It's the first points allowed by Cedar Rapids all season. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Francis will come up shy. So momentum squarely on the side of the Phoenix. And now we turn back to the Raptors to see how they can answer. All started with the Kira Fisk interception when the Raptors decided to throw the ball versus sticking with it on the ground.
Kind of inexplicably, too. I mean, they were having some success on the ground and then they just got away from it.
Had been chewing up clock, too. It was down. I think they'd already run 3 minutes off. Because every first down, you're looking 2 minutes off the clock. The Phoenix only one timeout left. But that turnover proves costly. And if I'm the Phoenix here, I'm booting this as far down as I can get it.
Totally agree, and especially now that we're in the later stages of this game and with some of the struggles that the Raptors have had offensively, field position is going to be crucial these final 8.5 minutes.
I will say, I'm definitely trying to keep it away from Zane Nelson. Zane Nelson, the most athletic player arguably on the other side of the field for the Raptors. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game. And we'll see if this one potentially goes to overtime. 8:28 left in the contest. It is college rules, so I believe it would go with the 1st and 10 at the 25. Good kick. Phoenix trying to get down coverage-wise. And a great return here. Back to midfield.
Hardman on the return to midfield, taken down by Christensen.
Konisha Hardman on the return. First time she's touched the ball tonight, and in a big way. About, what, maybe 20-yard return up to midfield?
Pretty close to it, and just said a moment ago how important field position is. If you're the Raptors, starting at midfield is a huge advantage, especially since they have to probably establish the ground game here, you would think. They did a great job of that in their last drive. Got to do it again here if they want to move the chains.
Shannon Christensen, the touchdown catch. That helped put the Phoenix on the board. First points allowed by Cedar Rapids all season. And now their offense has to answer. Carson going in motion from right to left, the tight end. Play action, quarterback keeper up the middle on the option. And it'll be a gain of 3 to the 47.
Been a lot of heavy pressure from that right side of the line.
Brandy Thomas among the Phoenix on the tackle.
Coming from the Phoenix.
Gain of 3, it's second
It's
and
really
7.
caused some confusion for Schrader, who coming into tonight, I don't know how many snaps she's had under center, but in this particular situation, having to kind of read it at the last second and make the best judgment she can.
She's thrown 2 picks in today's game. Play clock down to 3. And a timeout, I think, going to be called here to save. So the Raptors down to 1 timeout as well. We'll step away with them. 1 timeout each. 6-6 our score halfway through the 4th quarter. We'll be right back.
The Dolphins side, Mark Gronowski, the Iowa quarterback, quote, the winningest quarterback in college football history.
Big drive for the Raptors as they try to answer 2nd and 7. And Beltice back into the game, gets a big carry. First time she's touched the ball here in the 2nd half. And she picks up 6 to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandy Thomas on the stop.
If there was ever a time for her to start making an impact, it's now. She's got the touchdown earlier in this one. And if she can gut out these last 7 minutes plus, might be looking at a 3-0 Raptors team.
If you're just joining us, you missed a heck of a defensive battle in this one, but you've picked a great time to join. The Raptors scored on their first drive back in the 1st quarter, as I think she may be short.
It's going to be close.
Based on where both refs are coming in, I think it's 4th down. Came up half a yard shy. Officially 4th down, so a big call here for the Raptors. 6:31 left.
Raptors push the pile, but are short. It's 4th and short.
If I'm the Phoenix, I'm putting every big body defensive player I have on that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's less than a half a yard to go.
If they run it somewhere else and beat me, so be it. Schrader under center. Everyone right behind trying to push. Play of the game for the Raptors. 4th down. And they'll have enough. They get inside the 40 to the 39.
This time the Raptors push the pile to the 39-yard line. That'll be a 1st down.
And, you know, the big thing here is not like traditional football where every team's carrying a kicker and you're just trying to get in field goal range. It's really touchdown or bust.
Yeah, definitely in this setting here. So they're at the 39 with 5.5 to go. You got to get to feel comfortable going for something here. You got to get probably another 5-6 yards the next 2 plays to set something up.
Beltice absorbs contact, goes through it, keeps the legs moving as Kushner was coming in trying to rip that football out. She'll pick up 4 up to the 35.
Beltice on the carry. Several Phoenix later, but Christensen gets the last one.
The Phoenix struggled to have an answer for her early on. Good to see her back out healthy. Beltice had that touchdown, like you mentioned, on the first drive of the game. The Raptors capitalized off of the Grace Francis interception. And then it was nada. Both sides of the ball. Multiple turnovers on both sides. The Phoenix get the interception for Kira Fisk, go in, and finally put points on the board, but the 2-point conversion, no good. And now the Raptors trying to answer. Low snap, hand off to Beltice. The football came out. Phoenix might have the football. The beanbag got tossed. And a big decision right here. At the very least, it'd be a loss of 4 back to the original line of scrimmage. And a great job by Schrader getting back on top. I think everyone on the opposing sideline was holding their breath there for a second.
Yeah, definitely. You're kind of back to where you started, though, making it a 3rd down and 9.
For 3rd and 10.
Big 3rd down right here. Last pass attempt was intercepted. Thrown by Schrader. They hand it off to Beltheis. Got past the first line of defense. Keeps the legs moving, and she's got a 1st down on 3rd and 10.
Beltheis on the dive up the middle.
Beltheis down inside the 30 to the 28.
Peterson along with
What a drive here for the Raptors that they're putting together.
And most importantly, that clock stays moving, so the time dwindles as well as keeping that offense on the sideline here. Things are setting up really well. Another gutsy carry from Beltheis.
So 1st and 10 now inside of the Phoenix 30-yard line. Schrader almost got dropped in the backfield, somehow got out of it, and turns a loss into a gain of 2.
Ball may have came out at the end there.
If it did, Schrader back on top of it, and there's 2 Raptors players down on the side.
Official timeout for injury.
So a pair of injuries on the field. We'll step away real quick. As Schrader's slow to get up, she would be 2 quarterbacks down. As Diana Bucky, able to get up and walking off the field, but and Schrader was able to get back up. It's a Phoenix player getting looked at, and again, hopefully just a cramp with the way they're stretching that out. Clock stop, 2:24 left, 2nd and, it looks like they actually will say it's a loss on the play, 2nd and 12, based on where the, nope, excuse me, no, I'm right. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Understandable.
So they call it a loss of 1 officially. So it'll be 2nd and 11 at the 29. We will have the 2-minute warning coming up. And I think there was a timeout called by one of the teams as well. Not sure who.
Timeout called by Cedar Raptors.
It's the Raptors. They used their final timeout. Interesting decision here, but we will step away and be right back.
Timeout.
Okay, never mind. It was the Phoenix. Which, not a bad decision on their end. You want to set your defense here because if they score, this game is basically done.
Yeah, reset things, try to get the message across, and most importantly, have everybody on the same page these final few minutes because these last few plays, Parker Beltheis is taking it to him.
We'll take a short break and be right back.
I haven't eaten since a piece of pizza at like 1:45. I was trying to think if we should grab food on the way out of town, but I think everything's like closed. We'll take Piper's Dairy. Maybe go to that, make us some.
2nd and 11 for the Raptors. Adams in the direct snap formation with 2:24 left. Rolls out to the left. Megan Bush giving chase. And eventually pushed. They're going to say she stayed
Adams
inbounds.
is on the direct snap. Riley in on the tackle along with Renteria.
Gain of 4. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 6 coming up. Officially gave her 5 on that carry. And if I'm the Raptors, I'm trying to just, if I can't get this first down on 3rd down, I'm trying to run clock.
This feels like 4-down territory with where they're at. Would suspect that they're going back to the run game here, so you really have 2 chances to get about 7 yards, which, based on the last few plays here, mainly from Beltice, has been pretty attainable. And also, don't count out Schrader using her legs as well.
I was going to say, if Beltice can walk, I'm putting her out there.
I would agree.
Again, even if it's just a decoy. They used that early in the game, fairly effective. But, yeah, the Phoenix have had no answer for Beltice. She's had 3 carries for 20 yards on this drive. $53 yards for the game for Beltice. The biggest key, can't turn the ball over here. 2 minutes left in the ball game. And it goes to Karsten on that little tight end pass that we see the Kansas City Chiefs run. And she gets 5. It'll bring up 4th and a long 2.
So similar, staying close to the vest with the play call on that one. And Karsten has had a phenomenal game in all 3 phases.
For the Raptors.
Makes sense that she had a chance to get it there. And to your point that you just made, clock still runs with 1:20.
Phoenix need to stop here. No timeouts for them. And they were focused on the Phoenix defender that they didn't get the snap off, and it's a delay of game. If they'd gotten that snap off, as soon as I saw the defender go off, I'm snapping that football.
There was a lot of distraction going on. You actually had a Phoenix player shove one back and made her fall over.
And I think it might have gotten hurt, actually, on that.
Yeah, she's the one that got pushed back.
But what a turn of events there. Miscommunication and a missed opportunity for the Raptors. Would have had 1st and 10 inside the 15. So instead, it will be 4th and 7 back at the 25. Strong chance this still probably goes to Beltice. Like, the way you've been able to run the football here in the 4th quarter, there's still a chance to convert this. But I am not passing this football.
No, especially with some of the recent passing attempts that they've had. It just hasn't gone too well for them.
It's Megan Bush. And she is slow to get off the field. Has had a couple injury issues over the last couple of years. Hate to see it for one of the Phoenix most impactful defensive linemen. Again, you kind of just hope that it's a cramp and just couldn't put weight on it. But, yeah, Bush in pain as she's getting off the field here. Someone get the gator. Like Paul Pierce to the locker room. They're able to get Bush off the field. Hoping for the best for her. Huge defensive play for the Phoenix to give their offense one final shot. If the Raptors convert, they're going to have an opportunity to try and punch this one home. Still one timeout for Cedar Rapids. Schrader rolling to the left. They're going to throw this football. And it's going to be all on that spot, and I think they're going to give her the first.
Wow.
What a conversion there. I think it was Bridget Karsten again. Got out of bounds as well. Stops the clock with 1:02 left. What a conversion here by the Raptors.
Great catch. Tiptoe on that sideline and having just the presence of mind to extend the football out, because initially I don't think she got there.
And we've been talking about her all night. Bridget Karsten has done everything. A couple of sacks defensively, including a forced fumble. She's been the team's leading receiver all season and just made the play of the game. All facets of the game, the way she's handled pressure in punt formation as well. Going to be a short gain here. Clock is running.
Christensen on the tackle.
In no hurry, as they know they've got a couple attempts and they're going to use a timeout. And that's the toughest break for the Phoenix there, is that's a free timeout for Cedar Rapids with 37 seconds left. We'll take a short break and be right back. That's been a long game for both these teams. 37 seconds remaining. Can the Raptors convert, or are we headed overtime?
No, it doesn't. They didn't blow it dead until 42. I just need some food. You can take more of it. I also had a donut this morning, so I shouldn't need that much sugar. Man, we're down Tia and Megan.
I feel like a lot of people get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Second and 9 from the 17-yard line. Hand off to the left side. Keeps pushing, and it's going to be first and goal. Clock stops with 33 seconds left.
Carries it down to the 5. Several Phoenix in on the tackle, including Kira Fisk.
Another great carry from Beltice. Gets this one all the way down to the 5.
First and goal for the Raptors.
So you got
of the
4
Phoenix
cracks
5.
to get it in from 5 yards out.
Beltice started strong. Can she finish strong and end this game and send the Raptors to a 3-0 start? Schrader in the shotgun, goes to the middle. She's going to be stopped, gain of 3. And the Raptors will use their last timeout with 23 seconds left. If they can't score it, this could be the last play of the game.
That's true, because both teams are now officially out of timeouts, and with just the way that this game has rolled, you got to think that it would be a little bit easier to get back and set into a play here, just with how close everybody's going to be to the line of scrimmage and to the ball. But with 23 seconds, it would be tough to get 2 plays in So you'd imagine this might be the last play of the game.
And there's one person I want with the ball in their hands right here.
Absolutely. It's Parker Belti. She's been the team leader all season long. Came in just a few yards shy of 350 already for the season. Got dinged up earlier in this game, but has the touchdown for the Raptors. This ball's going to her. Everyone in the stadium knows it. It's just a matter of can the Phoenix stop it.
10 carries for 65 yards and the only score for the Raptors in this contest. Second and goal coming up from the 2-yard line. And for the Phoenix, we saw Tia Woosie and Megan Bush come off the field, arguably their two best defensive linemen. If I'm the Phoenix, I'm hoping September Dale or Jessica White up front. They've been big on the offensive side. They need to make a big defensive play, get the push up front. 23 seconds left. Double back formation. Schrader's going to pass the football. Delivers over, knockdown! Crystal Peterson. And I don't hate the decision to throw it at least once.
Third down.
Especially now that you can't stop the clock. But third and goal now. I'm thinking maybe throw it one more time. If you don't get it, run that football because it won't matter at that point.
I think this has got to be a throw it towards the back
they're going to kick it. So a field goal attempt to win it. Kick is up. It is no good.
The 19-yard field goal attempt was unsuccessful.
And the Phoenix have another player down, but why? If you're going to kick it, why would you do it on third down?
You had an extra play to go with.
I actually thought they were going to fake it.
So for all intents and purposes, likely headed to overtime. If I'm the Phoenix and Grace Francis, I'm taking the snap and just falling forward. Because you can't go back. I'm just trying to make sure if that's not Francis on the ground hurt.
Yeah, Phoenix are running out of bodies quickly here.
Already lost Megan Bush and Tia Woosie on this defensive drive. Larissa Kaiser and Nikki Dara have not made an appearance this season. We saw Vandermark leave the game earlier in this contest as well. And I do believe, nope, Grace Francis is in the middle of the huddle. So another defender down for the Phoenix. And as we know, as we've been seeing all night, both teams have players play both ways. And, you know, not big rosters for either squad. It's not like the Minnesota Vixen where they've run out 80-plus players.
Yeah, really smaller teams, and Iowa's a tad bit shorter on the roster than Cedar Raptors are. So, but these players keep going out. Makes it a lot tougher on these coaches to try to just have enough bodies and able to execute some of their plays.
So players still down. We are going to step away real quick and be back here in a couple minutes.
Real injury.
I heard someone say White. I wonder if it's Jessica.
Welcome back, everyone. The injured player, we believe, was Jessica White for the Iowa Phoenix, taken off on a gurney. The ambulance was called, wheeled off, and hoping that everything is all right for her. Still 12 seconds left in tonight's game. That looks like it will be completed. And at this time, both teams getting warmed up. So we'll be back with you guys here shortly, but everything appears to be all right. Hopefully just a precaution, but obviously we can't provide info we don't know. Yeah. But we'll be back with you guys here in a couple minutes. Both teams back on the field as we still have a game to finish here. 12 seconds left for the Phoenix offense. We'll see if overtime is in the cards. Just an update on today's game. It was a early touchdown for the Raptors on their first drive of the game. Parker Beltice taking that one in from 12 yards out. Phoenix finally answered midway through the fourth quarter, and they will just take a knee to send this to overtime. Not going to run the risk of potentially a turnover late in the contest.
At the end of regulation, we are tied at 6.
So we will be headed to overtime at the end of regulation. And, you know, obviously before the injury, all momentum was with the Phoenix coming off that missed field goal. But I got to say, what a drive put together closing out the game for the Raptors. Just, I struggle with the idea of kicking the field goal on third down.
With the amount of time that they had, you think that they maybe had an extra play to go there, especially if they were really seriously thinking about throwing the ball. I think both of us agreed that they probably should have just kept it on the ground because of how effectively they were running it. But regardless, it's a 6-6 tie, and we'll see what overtime has in store for us. Obviously, the mental hurdle now for both of these teams is trying to get their minds focused on a football game after just the unfortunate situation that just occurred.
Shannon Christensen and Megan Kushner will be the captains headed over for the overtime coin flip. And, you know, traditionally the thought is you always want to start on defense and force the offense to score, and then you know what your offense has to get. The way this game's been going, it could be extremely difficult, both sides, to put points up on the board. College rules, obviously, they put it at the 25-yard line. And, you know, you got 4 downs to get 10 yards. I think it is the best overtime rules in sports.
Agreed.
State of Iowa High School, it's basically the exact same, but they put it at the 10-yard line. And I believe this is our 5th year covering the Phoenix. This is the first overtime game we've ever had. So both teams at center field getting the explanation of the overtime rules. So safe to say, still anyone's game, but hopefully this also gave some time for both teams to get healed up a little bit. So likely the Phoenix defense will be out there first based on the ref signal. Looks like the Phoenix will defer.
Phoenix won the toss and deferred. Cedar Raptors will have the first possession of overtime.
So the Raptors offense will start here, and like we're talking at the end of regulation, if Parker Beltice can go, she's got to be the one with the ball in her hands.
Yeah, agreed. She's been really good. The opportunities that she's had, she got a little dinged up earlier in this game tonight, but was the bell cow and really the best player on the field when she was out there and fully giving it a go. So would not be surprised if the ball ends in her hands a lot this first possession.
The AWFL Game of the Week, we are in overtime here in the battle for Iowa. Hasn't always been the prettiest game tonight, but these defenses have played hard, and Raptors have fought through some injuries tonight, and now the Phoenix banged up a little bit defensively. As they will line up in the direct snap to Adams formation. And Adams will take it right up the middle. Meets a defender head on, runs right through her. Runs through Kushner as well. Gain of 9.
Adams on the carry.
Adams, who was banged up early in the game. Good to see her back out there, and I think the rest did her some good.
Gain of 9 on the play to the 16-yard line. 2nd and 1.
So it'll be 2nd and 1 now coming up from the 16-yard line. Gain of 9 officially on first down. Adams goes to the right side again. This time met by Tia Wooste, who also got back into the game after some injury concerns earlier. Loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, that's maybe an underrated talking point. Is that long delay really gave some players on both sides, but especially for Iowa, to rest up. They were dropping like flies in that fourth quarter there, and now that you have some chance to get some proper hydration and a little bit of time off of your feet, albeit for an unfortunate circumstance, they could be coming out here in this overtime period with a little extra juice.
Megan Bush does remain on the sideline, but Wooste back in makes a big play. And then we'll line it up, trying to push forward. Schrader, a good push up front. Keeps going and will get the first down. It'll all come down to the spot more than likely. They will mark her just shy.
Just shy of the line to gain. 4th and inches for the Raptors.
And the biggest key here, you cannot have a false start.
Right.
Schrader will line it up right under center again. The Phoenix are going to pile up right in the line of scrimmage on their own side. And I do think a player left early, and looks like it will be enough for the first.
Raptors again push the pile to the
Man, it looked like the right guard jumped early.
Yeah, that was really close.
So 1st and 10 now from just on the other side of the 15 up to the 14, it looks like. Raptors, we've seen them go to the pass in some interesting moments. We'll see what the decision is here. 1st and 10. Hand off to Beltice, right up the middle. Great blocking. And she's going to get another push forward for about 5 to the 9.
She's taken out of the 9-yard line. 2nd and 5.
So 2nd and 5 inside the 10 now. As Francis, a little bit of a limp coming off the field. Nordstrom returns to the game and along the defensive line to replace her.
Really feels like this Raptors offensive line is really starting to take control and just creating a lot of positive push forward for these backs.
And they're going to line up I formation. Beltice again inside the 5, and it is going to be 1st and goal for the Raptors, I believe. Yep, they will move the chains.
The Phoenix to take her down. First and goal for the Raptors at the 4.
That's how we saw them moving that football at the end of regulation. Biggest key, turnovers, 6 total of them in this game. First one to cough at the football could lose this game tonight. 6-6 our score. It's the first overtime. Keeping it simple, give it to Beltice. Push back, but bounces forward and is into the end zone. Touchdown, Raptors.
In for the Raptors touchdown.
So the Raptors are on the board. Beltice with her second touchdown of the game.
Just
Now-
nothing fancy that drive. Just ran it right down their throat. No passing attempts. Beltice has been so good in the later stages of this game and gets across the goal line.
And because she was out for so long, she's got pretty fresh legs compared to a lot of other players in this game. We're going 3.5 hours of game time today. And even with that break, that's still a lot of plays that have been run. And they're going to run Adams as the direct snap. Gets stood up and will not get into the end zone. And the Phoenix are going to have a shot.
Phoenix defense steps up and stops Rachel Daly from the attempt.
So big stand there by the
Raptors
defense.
12, Phoenix 6.
So now the Raptors defense has to come up. If Phoenix score and get the extra point attempt, they will still come out on victory, even with the Raptors having led almost every second of this game.
They've really dominated the line of scrimmage. Ball control has been huge for them. Just the reason that they're in this position is a lot of penalties, few mistakes, few turnovers that have let the Phoenix get back into it here. So a breath of fresh air and sense of new life, really, in this overtime period.
So Parker Beltice, a pair of rushing touchdowns. The Phoenix, they got a passing touchdown caught by Shannon Christensen earlier. Do they have one more answer? Try and tie this one up again and maybe come out on top. Francis, across the middle, falls incomplete.
Now, Francis is upset with herself. I think if she left that one up in the air, that had a good chance to get intercepted there. So maybe a little bit of a fortunate, inaccurate pass.
Incomplete pass will bring up 2nd and 10. Obviously, 4-down territory for the remainder of this game. Two receivers split out wide right. Fisk here on the near side. Francis over to Renfrew and almost picked off. In and out of the hands of Brooks. Had a chance to end the game.
3rd and 10 for the Phoenix.
Man, that one was gift wrapped for Brooks. Just couldn't squeeze it. Nonetheless, still makes it 3rd down and long. Obviously 4-down territory, but the Raptors defense has been stout all game. Chance for another game-winning play.
They'll line up in basically the same formation. Woosie in at tight end on the right side of the line. Coach Ray trying to fire up the Raptors. And a false start going to cost the Phoenix 5 more yards. And the Phoenix going to use their overtime timeout. We'll take a short break, but we could be looking at the last 2 plays of the game coming up.
Timeout taken by the Phoenix.
We said it a couple times tonight. Might be the play of the game here for the Phoenix. Need to at least get into a manageable 4th down situation here on 3rd and 15. Christensen and Renteria have been the go-to players. Francis sets her feet, delivers, tipped and incomplete. 3 straight incomplete passes to start the drive for the Phoenix. It's now or never. 4th and 15.
I think in this situation, you got to do your best to isolate Kira Fisk, your best receiver on the outside. Just throw it up to her, give her a chance to make a play.
They'll go empty backfield with Peterson out on the left side along with Fisk. Francis looking Fisk's way. Lobs one to the end zone. No one in the area. That will do it here tonight, folks.
Is there a flag?
There's a holding call. It is waved off. And penalty is declined. That will do it here tonight, folks. The Raptors escape 12-6 in overtime. A disappointing game for Iowa offensively ends in a big win for the Raptors as they clinch at least a 500 season for the first time in program history.
A lot of miscues on each side, but a lot of credit to this Raptors team just finding a way throughout the course of the night, just gutting it out, and defensively game balls to everybody, but in particular to Bridget Karsten, who was outstanding in all 3 facets of this one. But this is a complete team win. They haven't beaten the Phoenix in a long, long time, so this one is a little extra sweet for that group.
They win the Battle of Iowa here in the AWFL Game of the Week and move to 3-0. They will be at home in 2 weeks as they will be off next week, taking on the Columbus Mystic before finishing up at the Cincinnati Sizzle, and then a rematch of this game on May 30th. Meanwhile,